I'm calling this lawnmower that needs to be repaired Queenie, and Queenie came to me with the tank hanging off. It was just flopping around loose here. He said that they broke the last gas tank, and the way you do that with these type of gas tanks is you try to install this and you forget to put this spacer in here, either this whole piece or at least that cylindrical washer has to go right there. Otherwise, when you tighten the screw down, this will snap, break, and then you've ruined your tank, and you're looking at anywhere between $20 and $50, depending on where you find it. This is a tank from a different mower, but I just wanted to show you what I'm looking at. So he had to go buy a brand new one. That's what he chose to do, and here it is. This was bought online. I bought several like this too. See how shiny black it is and nice and everything. It's got the Chinese aftermarket carburetor, and he said it never ran right, that it would start and quit and all that kind of stuff. So I bought this mower for very little, and I'm hoping I can get it to run by either replacing this tank or repairing this tank, or at least trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with it, because there was a bunch of old fuel in it, and it won't prime. I've pushed that several times, and it will not prime. So let me get a paper towel and try and soak up what's left of that fuel in there, or at least most of it. So I'm just gonna kind of make a wick here and start stuffing it down in there. And now I'm going to shake this to get whatever fuel's in there to come in contact with that wick. Let's see, you can see the discoloration, so I got a little bit of the fuel out of there. Put that in the trash, and it looks pretty clear. Now, what I wanted to show you that happens with these aftermarket carburetors, it's going to be one of two things that's keeping this thing from working. Either he bought the carburetor and the tank separately, and he didn't install the carburetor right, or he bought it as a unit with the carburetor and the tank, and the Chinese and their products have a problem with things in here falling apart. And the way to check that is I'm going to try to hold my finger to keep this from moving around. I'm going to shake this and hold it up to my ear. So let me do that for a second. See, I hear something. And see, nothing should be moving because I'm holding the butterfly, so it shouldn't be moving. But I don't know if can you hear that? See, there's something moving. Maybe it's down in the tank, but I don't think so, because I've run this before. I think it's going to end up being inside of this carburetor. I could be mistaken, but let's take a look and see why this tank and pulsa jet carburetor just won't prime. It just, nothing's happening. Let me get this thing where it's pointing in the right direction. Hold on a second. All right, that's a little better. So the first thing we got to do is remove the carburetor. And you need a Phillips head screwdriver for that. And get that started, get this one started. I'm going to try to speed this up for you by using my electric drill. If I can find it. I'm not seeing it, so we'll just go the old-fashioned way. So I'll try and speed this along. What I'm doing is getting these all loose, and then I'm going to lift this carburetor up and get it off that tank. And we're going to look and see if, when the Chinese assembled this, if they didn't put the diaphragm and the gasket on correctly. And we'll know that in just a minute. We've got 2 more screws to go. Okay, I think it'll lift up now. Let's give it a try. Okay, that looks like it's installed correctly. The diaphragm is under the gasket. The diaphragm is touching the surface of the gas tank right in there. And then the gasket is on top of that. That is correct. So the culprit is probably going to be this carburetor. So let me turn this over. I'm going to get these little screws out of here. There's 5 of them. All right. And now again, what I'm going to do is hold this butterfly and then shake this. And see, I hear movement and I feel movement. And what that means, and this happens all the time with these cheap aftermarket carburetors. Let me get this old Briggs over here. Here's a Briggs carburetor, and let's oh, that one still got the. Okay, here we go. Here's an old one. And see, the primer bulb on this one's been torn off. And what you see under here is, you get something to point with. What you see under here is a stainless steel ball bearing or ball right there. I'm hoping you can see that. And on top of that is a green rubber seat. And so under the ball bearing, under that steel ball bearing, is going to be in a very tiny spring. And that spring is up against the inside of the carburetor, and it's putting pressure on that little steel ball. So the steel ball is pushed up against the needle seat. And so it's sealed. There's no leakage there. But when you come along and you want to prime your, maybe get this closer, show you what I'm talking about. See, here is what's inside of there. There's a steel ball bearing right there. And then you have your green needle seat. And what happens is this all falls apart. And these brand new carburetors, this needle seat just falls out, and then the ball bearing falls out, and then the little spring falls out. So I'm going to open this not brand new, but it was new when he got it. New carburetor, new tank. And I can almost promise you that inside we're going to find the parts. There'll be the needle seat, the ball bearing, and the spring. So let's take a look. And so obviously it's never going to prime because none of that is sealed. It's all just flopping around loose in there. And I can tell that when I shake this, I can actually hear that little ball bearing in there. So let me get the tool that Briggs recommends. You can use a screwdriver too, but I have one of the Briggs tools. This is what the tool looks like. It's a big kind of pliers clamp tool, and what you do is you come in and the spring holds it open, and then you come in and put it around these the openings here on the carburetor and begin to squeeze it. Okay, so you're squeezing on the retaining clip and kind of wiggling to get it to release. So I'm going to push in, I'm squeezing the tool, and I'm starting to wiggle to get that loose. And then once it starts to come loose, I'm going to slip a little screwdriver under one of the edges that is revealed when you begin to move this thing out. Okay, I'm going to squeeze again now, and I'm going to go back and forth like that, turning the carburetor, and now I'm going to start trying to pull it up and away to get it where it's off of there. That's not having much luck. Okay, yeah. Let me look at the other side and see if maybe it has come loose, but this tool works great on Briggs carburetors, maybe not so much on these aftermarkets. I'm not having much luck there. So what I'm going to do is just get a screwdriver the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to try and get it under the edge of this retaining clip and push it up. I'm hoping maybe my tool has done enough to where I can get it up, but it hasn't. So I'm going to push on the top of this flap, push down and up like that. Okay, that definitely helped. Okay, good. And you see that? There's the red. That's the red of the primer bulb. So this thing is beginning to move. So now I'm going to come over this side. I'm going to push here. And now I see red on that side. So this is starting to come loose. So I'm going to stick the edge of the screwdriver on here and push up. Yeah. Okay, I think it's definitely up on that side, but not on this one. So I'm going to push down again on this little lip there. There we go. Okay, so now I got red on both sides. Now I'm going to push up and get this retaining clip off of here. And the retaining clip holds the bulb in place, kind of under pressure a little bit. And I'm going to push like that and see if I can get it to come up. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get my needle nose pliers and try and grab the edge of that right there. Okay, so it's off, and now all I have is the bulb. Now I'm going to hold this up where you can see it, and we're going to reveal what's in here. And I'll bet you that you're going to find the ball bearing and the spring. There it is. So there's the ball bearing, and the spring is still in its place, and the needle seat is black rubber, and it's sitting right there. Can you see that? I hope so. Let me get some light on it. See, that's what's in there. It's all come loose. The ball bearing needs to be in that hole right in the center, and the black rubber needs to sit on top of that so you have a seal. Otherwise, it's never going to work. No fuel's going to pass through there because you're not going to be able to draw a vacuum when the bulb comes back out. So I'm going to reinstall that. And my trick to get that to not just come right back out again, because that's what will happen, the way these things are made, they're just not great. I'm going to put a little tiny micro dot of super glue right on the top edge of the rubber needle seat. So when it hardens, it'll kind of provide a lip or an edge that is holding that seat in place. So I'm going to go and do that now. I'll find my super glue and try and reassemble this. And when you come back, we're going to test this and make sure that the repair